I take back what I said about our director being an imbecile. Having a time machine at our disposal is actually pretty convenient. Well, it depends on how you interpret what I'm saying. What? Finally done dealing with me? The former #1 director candidate?
The Collected Letters of Obed Royal Family. Volume 3, Darius, the King of All Kings, written by a historian from the Obed court. The second half is blank. Looks like this volume is incomplete. It appears that we have indeed arrived in the era of Darius, around 500 years before the 5th Emperor's reign. That Emaon we encountered mentioned that Darius was the one who first brought Arten from Memphis to Obed. Sarvis also mentioned that Darius was the first ruler of Obed to harness the power of the sun.
I see. The fact that the Japheth soldiers didn't know the command to activate a 10 suggests that it had already been lost by their time. Compared to the era of Japheth, the era of Darius was closer to the era of a 10, which means Darius is more likely to know the command to activate a 10.
Besides, there's something else that concerns me. The giant we just encountered. Actually, we might have encountered it once before. Back in our time, when you entered the Tower of Babel and activated the dormant beacon, we came across something very similar, Sia. Indeed. The giant in our time was missing its lower half, so I can't say for sure if it's the same giant. Moreover, I'm sure you remember the stuff we got from the mutilated giant. According to Master Ninsar, it belonged to Darius. So, it must have come from this era.
Sorry for interrupting your discussion, but that was the first time I saw that huge guy. So that giant has been after you? What did you do to anger it so much?
We didn't do anything.
Dear Emaon, I bear no ill intentions. Have you forgotten our agreement?
We don't have enough information to understand the reason behind it yet.
One moment he wanted to kill us, and the next moment he was happy to see us.
Just to confirm, when we met Sarvis for the second time, it was a month after our first encounter, right?
Did you figure something out, or...? I'm afraid so. Sarvis didn't have a clue about a 10's activation during our first encounter, but in the second encounter, He mentioned that they had somehow appeased the wrath of the god of the sun. So during that month, a 10 must have been reactivated and turned into the star of Ephrathah. Sarvis also said that we delivered divine words and saved the world from destruction. It means that we were the ones who helped deactivate a 10, extinguishing the star of Ephrathah. Remember what Enki said?
Be careful. The prophecy may actualize itself.
Actions taken to prevent tragedy can end up causing it. Now I understand that Sarvis wasn't exaggerating when he said we saved the entire world from destruction. After a 10 was reactivated, its power must have kept increasing, just like when it destroyed a Ketaton. Imagine what would happen if a fusion reactor continues to increase its power output without being shut down. We obtained the command and delivered it to Sarvis. However, it wasn't us from the present. Rather, it was us from some point in the future. Because of our time travels, the prophecy actualized itself. Sure.
There is no other choice.
Now we're not just responsible for saving the library in our era, but also saving the world in Sarvis's era.
We must move on and find the command to deactivate R10 and deliver it to Sarvis. If we fail, both eras will veer off their intended paths and collapse completely.
I'm not going to answer that. There are a bunch of geezers in Emaon who specialize in time paradoxes. I've never paid attention to their lectures. All I know is that it would be very, very, very bad. Who are those people?
Judging by their attire, they must be the Immortal Army, Darius's Praetorians.
Of course I know that, but why are there so many Immortal Army soldiers wandering inside the library in this era?
Your Majesty, please forgive us. We are devoted to you.
Hey! They can't even hear us. Never mind. Let's keep going. We'll surely find someone we can reason with, right? It's those pesky creatures again. Hey, use your time-stopping ability on them.
Like a shot. Like a spear. Halt, or you'll end up like those sacrifices hanging there.
This era, it's truly weird.
Obviously, those immortal army soldiers have been wandering around inside the library for quite some time. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so worn out.
What exactly happened?
Emperor Darius was the ruler of the ancient Obed Empire 2,500 years before our time. He was one of the most renowned rulers in Obed's history. Unlike the Obed Empire under the 5th Emperor's rule, Obed during Darius's reign was the most powerful empire in the world. Towards the end of his reign, though, Emperor Darius inexplicably shifted his focus away from governing the empire, leading to a rapid decline of Obed. The records about Emaon are not detailed, as their leader Pythagoras mysteriously vanished without a trace one day.
Emaon's historical records are all but blank during this era. There are simply too many coincidences happening in this era. We need to be extra cautious.
The stars. They appear so distant, yet shine so brightly.
Your Majesty, Farhad requests an audience.
It is you, my most courageous servant. How does the wine taste at the celebration?
The wine was exquisite, benefiting the conquerors of Memphis. We all wonder why you didn't join us in the Great Feast of Honor. Why do you remain secluded in this corner, far from the bonfire, without even a single guard? Have we done anything to displease you?
Not at all, Fahad. I am pleased with your valor. After this battle, I've annexed the southern reaches of the world into my domain. I am staying away from the crowds to gaze at the stars. The campfire's brightness would obscure their light. Have you ever considered where our conquest will end, Farhad?
No, Your Majesty. I shall fight wherever you deem necessary. Until the farthest reaches of your dominion touch the sea, or until I fall on the battlefield.
Your loyalty is commendable. But what I'm seeing now is even more distant than the sea. There was an Emian scholar named Pythagoras who told me that according to his research, the land beneath our feet is a sphere.
A sphere? How is that even possible?
You're not a scholar, so it is understandable that you can't imagine it. However, I can easily imagine that there may exist countless such spheres suspended high above the heavens. We call those spheres stars. The notion that these stars are fragments of Earth adrift in the firmament. So many uncharted territories awaiting conquest. Do you understand my feelings, Fahad? In comparison, Memphis, no, even the entirety of Obed, pales in significance. I wonder how I can travel to those stars to conquer those lands no one has ever seen. How pathetic is a man so bound by his desires. From now on, I shall find no peace in my nights.
Fret not, Your Majesty. We, the Immortal Army, will always be your keenest blades. Even if you were to command us to conquer the moon, we would comply without hesitation.
You truly are my favorite servant, Fahad. Arise, for I shall share my glory and dreams with you. One day we'll leave our footprints across the entire expanse of the sky. So, it was but a dream. I'm feeling cold. Am I already so old that I'm plagued by such vivid dreams? I used to believe that only the inept dream, for they possess nothing in reality. Is the heavens telling me that I'm no different from those commoners? My time is running out. Emeons, I'm summoning you to demand an answer I have long awaited. A decade has passed since my triumph in Memphis. I have given you so much time to unravel the mysteries of the God of the Sun. My subjects comply with my commands, never disturbing your research or prying into your tower. Only during the 6th and final month of each year do my emissaries visit you to ask about the progress of your research. You should know that it is a supreme honor, and that I have shown you extraordinary generosity, which no other Obed emperors have ever bestowed upon you. However, my messengers disappointed me every time, as your response of nothing has remained unchanged. Now, I've decided to ask you this question myself. This is your 10th year. Have you learned more about the nature of that copper sphere? What grants it immortality?
Your Majesty, our answer remains the same. You may perceive 10 years as a considerable length of time. For a human life, it is indeed substantial. However, for those devoted to the pursuit of knowledge, it is merely a fleeting moment akin to the evaporation of morning dew. Undoubtedly, that sphere represents a creation that transcends the limits of human understanding. Even if it is not a deity in its own right, its creator must possess divine qualities. We need more time to figure out its true essence.
Time. Time. What an extravagant request. I, too, would grant you more time if I were able. Unfortunately, the time given to me is dwindling. The sand in the hourglass is running out. I am growing old, and my time is slipping away, while the boundless, unconquered worlds still await me. I am asking you once again, Emeon, do you indeed have nothing to give me in return?
Your Majesty, I hold you in the highest regard, but I must inform you that neither your Majesty nor your power hold sway within the realm of knowledge. Though you may command all on Earth to declare that the sun rises in the west, it will still be the eastern sky that illuminates the next dawn. I can assure you that we're more eager than you to learn the nature of the sphere. It is the calling of the scholar.
I see. You're unable to offer what I seek in exchange for my leniency. I extend my regrets to you, Emeon. Since the beginning of history, this will be the first time the Emperor of Obed resorts to violence against Amion. If I had a choice, I wouldn't wish to make this decision.
You may rule over this land, Your Majesty. And while you may intimidate those who seek knowledge, the laws governing knowledge itself do not yield to mere might.
Immortal army, at my command, open this tower and seize their library! If this library is as miraculous as the legends proclaim, containing the sum of all worldly knowledge, it must surely hold the secret to immortality and the immortal power of that copper sphere. Since the mouthpieces of the gods remain silent to my request, I'll uncover the answer myself.
We can't prevent you if you're determined to do so, Your Majesty. Permit me, however, to offer a final piece of advice. The gods remain silent due to the folly of humankind.
That was the last question I will ever pose to you. From now on, you are no longer permitted to address me. Immortal army, storm their tower and breach their gates. Amion, I have heard tales that the paths within the Library of Babel are more numerous than the stars in the sky, and the smallest misstep can lead to eternal wandering. I've also heard you've devoted countless time and lives to explore that library, and that you've even familiarized yourself with a number of safe paths. I command you to lead the way for my warriors, and you have no right to refuse.
You're right.
If we can find a reasonable soldier or an Imaeon of this era, perhaps they will tell us what has happened here. Let's go. We don't have much time. Interesting fellow.
Like a shadow. Like a spear.
Wait, isn't that the shoddy artifact that wouldn't even start? So is it working now?
The main path is blocked.
In moments like this, it's time to show some innovation. Interesting fellow. Interesting fellow. Interesting fellow.
there are still people over there.
I don't expect to find any living people we can reason with, but let's go check it out anyway.
Looks like you've run into a bit of trouble.
Please lower your weapons. We mean no harm.
Who are you?
We are Emaons.
My name is Farhad. I can't see you well. I thought you were monsters too. Thank you so much. I didn't expect your help, especially after His Majesty gave that order.
His Majesty? Are you talking about Emperor Darius?
Of course. Were you not there when His Majesty gave the order? His Majesty ordered the Immortal Army to take over the Tower of Babel and the Library of Babel. How long ago was that? 1 year? Or 2 years? I can't remember clearly. This is not a library. It's an endless nightmare. Ever since I got here, I've been praying for the gods to wake me up from this living hell.
Take over? You barged into the library? No wonder. It's actually impressive that you've held on for so long without any preparation. Why did your Emperor send you here to die?
Our mission is to uncover the truth about the god of the sun in Memphis. His Majesty has given the Emaon years, and yet there have been no results. Eventually, he ran out of patience. Personally, I don't have anything against you. We're puzzled too. It's hard to understand why His Majesty, who's always been a profound thinker, would act that way. Emaon, I know it may sound brazen, especially after we barged into your tower, but I'm asking you to take me back to His Majesty. The Immortal Army shall never fail His Majesty.
What a coincidence. We're actually searching for your Emperor as well. How about you join us? With you on our side, he might be more open to hearing us out, don't you think?